Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90 and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss any upload as it comes up. And if you're new to the channel or you've been here for a while, the easiest way for you to move around or to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest in that. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, make sure you consider becoming a member of the channel. So on the subscribe button, you see a join button there. Make sure you become a member so to support the team on the production. And catch you around.
So as you may be aware, Botswana just saw in their newly elected president just a couple of days ago. And a number of political figures on the African continent attended the event. That's both in opposition and in ruling government. So as you can see from this screen, this picture on screen. So on the far right, that is Nelson Chamisa. That is Zimbabwe's opposition leader, probably the most famous, aside from the sitting president. And then followed by him, that's Julius Malema, same thing, South African opposition. The most popular or famous amongst them, in as much as the MK party did damage to him in the recent elections. Then you see in the center there, that is the sitting president of Zambia, that is President Hakainde Hichilema, and the one that is holding the selfie stick, that is Musi Maimane, that is South African opposition leader, also should be in the DA. And Musi has been a great friend to President Hakainde Hichilema. If you remember, even during his incarceration, that is President Hakainde Hichilema's incarceration, when Edgar Lungu was president, him and should be a number of other opposition leaders came to Zambia trying to get him released. Obviously, that did not work out. They wanted Hakainde Hichilema to be released. And Julius Malema also spoke about the same. Then on the far right there, that is Mao Sampa. And this is what happened with regard to that. So Julius Malema reviewed during this same interaction that the situation in Zambia, this was what happened. Just a second. Julius Malema had revealed that this is what had happened to him with regard to him being banned when coming to Zambia. So Malema said, Lungu banned me from entering Zambia. Malema, popular South African opposition leader Julius Malema, yesterday disclosed that he was banned from entering Zambia by President Lungu simply because the South African opposition leader was supporting President Hakainde Hichilema. Malema, who is the head of the Economic Freedom Fighters party in his country, had to be among hundreds invited guests at Botswana's presidency inauguration. This is where they met up. And he brought up the issue to say, how come I supported President Hakainde Hichilema to be released, and then when he gets into power, he did not lift his ban? So he confronted President Hakainde Hichilema. So that's the light moment you're seeing there. And obviously, President Hakainde Hichilema responded immediately. That ban was lifted, obviously, right there. So EFF, this was reported by the UPND. So EFF happy with embargo lift on Malema. So and then that's the extract. EFF welcomes the lifting of the ban of Julius Malema by Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema. That is Sunday, 10th November 2024. The Economic Freedom Fighters welcomes the decision by the Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema to lift the 7-year travel ban on Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema. Then they write the other stuff there. But that's one thing you have to like about Julius Malema. If he has a problem with you, he will not speak behind your back or anything. Because if you see the interview that he had with the journalist that had asked him about this, he clearly stated he was banned from coming to Botswana where this event was coming. And the president at the time should have been, let's say, Kama or something like that. Ian Kama, not Celeste Kama. Ian Kama was the president at the time. He's the one that had banned him. He was at the event. I'm pretty sure he also confronted him. You gotta like Julius Malema for that. He is not one to backbite. Same thing. So after that interview, he ran towards Hakainde Hichilema, and this is where this selfie, this picture was taken. And you can see them holding hands there. And I'm pretty sure the president lifted the ban right there. It's just that they had to make it official back home. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs was present. He probably was just entrusted to say, make sure this happens. And obviously, Julius Malema is free to come to Zambia as things stand. What is on the other side, former President Edgar Chagwa is making a lot of comparisons of himself to the now re-elected President Donald Trump from the US, So let me just give you the extract of the things that he keeps on referring to for a number of days. So Edgar Lungu says, I commend the American people for for electing a God-fearing president. 60th Republican President Dr. Edgar Lungu paid a growing tribute to people of the United States of America for electing Mr. Donald J. Trump as a God-fearing man as their 47th president. Lungu was speaking when he addressed the congregants at Kafue Estates United Church of Zambia Resurrection Congregation, where he graced a commissioning reception service of Deaconesses Fides Mukasa. So that's why he said, no, since the American people had elected a God-fearing president, I will come and finish that house of prayer when I come back, says Edgar Chagalungu. As you may be aware, during his tenure, they had started a project, should be near the old Kenneth Kaunda house. That thing has been a white elephant since then, obviously. Even during his tenure, they did not finish it. Very little was done. And then he said, well, that will be one of his first priorities when he gets back into power. He says, I believe in God like Trump, that's Lungu. And I come first thing is I will finish the house of national prayer, bring back the Ministry of Religious Affairs, which Hakainde Ishilema abolished. Lungu assures UCZ congregants in Kafue today. So he says those are some of the priorities once he is elected in 2026 to have those things finished and also reinstate the Ministry of Religious Affairs. Obviously, Tabokawana wearing a shirt that represents most of the presidents that have ruled Zambia. I did the Patriotic Front via Smart Eagles. They say, "Kutuwasanga at Edgar Chagalungu talipo pa shirt hapa." I'm guys are so simply saying, in as much as Tabokawana is wearing T-shirts with most of the faces of former presidents of Zambia, there's a likelihood that President Edgar Chagalungu isn't even on this shirt. I mean, you can't blame him. Tabokawana is a politician at the end of the day. What would it look like him working into State House with Edgar Chagalungu's face? You just have to acknowledge these are politics at the end of the day. And then George Mutonga from the US says, if you ever aspire to be president in Zambia, you will have either of these symptoms. You are clueless about the extent of the problem. That's one. Two, you are aware of the problems and you think highly of yourself and your abilities. Anyone who is both aware of the problems in Zambia and is humble about their ability to fix anything will never aspire to be president. So he says those are the traits if you ever aspire to be president. It's either a delusional and unaware or overconfident, he says. And Malsamp also shares some of the images from Botswana during the same event. So you can see most of the people here, South African opposition leaders. I already started you to introduce them to you as we started this podcast. So Malsamp says, in South African Parliament and the ruling and opposition MPs leaders do not see eye to eye, but when they meet outside, they are brothers. I witnessed the ANC and South African Deputy President and the opposition EFF leader Julius Malema happily embrace when we met in Botswana. It means they differ on political policies and not personal matters. In my beloved country, Zambia, it seems to be the opposite. So he simply says he likes the way it plays out in South Africa, where when they're in parliament, it's fight. But when they walk out of parliament, they are simply brothers. And you can see that picture that he shared. And he says he aspires, it can be the same in Zambia, where you can differ on political grounds, but you don't become enemies. What is this cooler box is still moving around. It's been making waves, different opinions. So Kalemba says this morning, Solwezi bound cooler box truck will rumble into Lusaka from Shimabara toll gate. So that's the image there. It's been making, I think, the past 2 months. While this Matero member of Parliament, Malsamp, has pledged to personally be present and oversee the safety of his constituents as the large cooler box travels through parts of his constituency en route to Solwezi. That's the thing that's been making news. And then he says, I'm going to be present there of a small sample, confirming that news. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going on. I'll keep you posted if anything comes up. Stay tuned.